Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent explained how enforcing our immigration laws actually improves the economy.
The president's closed the border and the mass immigration is gone. And that was putting, a lot of the immigration was putting upward pressure on housing, downward pressure on wages. Interest rates are down, and now we are starting to see the affordability. Prices get better. We had a very big October for home sales. Energy prices, gasoline is down.
And Americans are already seeing the benefits, especially as we head into Thanksgiving. The cost of a traditional meal is down to its lowest since 2021, according to the American Farm Bureau. But the media is putting its usual spin on the good news. An op-ed in the New York Times argues stricter immigration will make us poorer because illegals pay taxes. Oh, they forget the other half of that, Jason. But yes, the New York Times is insisting that the illegal immigrants, they buy things, they contribute to the economy. So if we deport them, then all of a sudden we're not going to have the illegal alien serf class that the left apparently wants in perpetuity forever. But also they pay taxes. I think they forgot to mention, all the assistance and all the stress on the schools and the infrastructure. But what do you think? Is the immigration crackdown going to topple our economy?
Well, it's not to mention that it's illegal for them to have a Social Security number, so I'm sure they're paying taxes. Look, it's just basic economics. If you put purposely more than 10 million people into the system, what's it going to affect? Healthcare, schools. You saw what happened. I don't know what the right number is actually in North Carolina. Suddenly they're doing raids and tens of thousands of school kids supposedly call in sick. The freeways don't seem to be as crowded. The hospitals and your low-income housing is getting expensive. It's just supply and demand. And not to mention, it's the law of the land. And I'm just glad Secretary Bessent is there. He's one of President Trump's best picks. He certainly knows what's going on in this economy a lot better than Janet Yellen did.
That's a good point. Kaylee, we're having some discussion about the cost of food and groceries ahead of Thanksgiving, and the president has repeatedly touted that stat that we just saw from the American Farm Bureau that the cost is down. It's as good as it's been in the last few years, so I think that's good. But the polls are showing us the American people aren't necessarily feeling that. Where do you think the disconnect lies?
I think it comes from 4 years of really just a horrible economy under Biden, and people are tired, people are exhausted, and I totally understand that. But I do think that the Trump economy will make a rebound. We saw this happen under his first administration. The unfortunate part for Republicans is that their policies just take longer to take effect because they do things the right way. They don't sell the Mamdani quick fixes, the cheap solutions that don't ever actually come to fruition. So I understand that the American people are hurting, and I do think that the Trump administration needs to make concerns about affordability a top priority. I was really encouraged to see him talk specifically about the housing shortage, especially for young adults, because that is a huge problem among young adults my age, is the inability to get into that market and to be able to start your life with a home of your own. That has to be a problem that is addressed by our top policymakers, or else you're going to have an entire generation of kids who are just utterly hopeless about their futures.
Right. David, we talked yesterday about this as well, but it takes a little time, as Kaylee said, for things to settle in. There's a lot of policies that have yet to take effect. Are you optimistic about 2026?
Yes, and the difference between fake optimism or instant gratification under the left is real policy that takes effect. A pro-growth structure, which began with the first Trump administration, is what's working here in its new form. The one big beautiful bill, the tax provisions, 100% expensing, for example, means that companies will be able to expand, which means more hiring. The fact is that the Republican plan will start taking effect next year. You do need to message on affordability just to counter the left, but the real wages, the real what's in your pocket, not what's going to the government, begins next year, and Republicans need to build on that success. Businesses will grow. There's a resettling in the business community. You're flushing out illegal aliens. That's a good thing. You're flushing out losses. The point about using resources in schools, ESL courses in multiple languages, healthcare, billions of dollars in the states in cost, that's coming out of somebody's pocket. So the economy shifted. And something key that Scott said there, and you're right, one of the absolute best picks, a non-inflationary economy. So this is a real shift back to a solid economy, solid foundation, backed up by laws that are signed like the one big beautiful law. Real effects, wages go up, stabilization, you still have some issues to do with pricing, and energy prices are the next curve. As you begin to see energy prices come down and stay at a level area, the deal with Saudi Arabia on energy, the latest deal and others, that affects every single part of our economy. Unleash American energy, you will see the difference. Stabilize global commodity and energy, you see the big difference.
Takes a little longer when you do it the right way.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.